Hello, hello. Welcome back to Three Slips and Silly Points. Everyone's back. We've got Chai again at first slip, Raj at second slip, who's still on his 2 feet, which is very important, and me back on third slip. And the little joke there why he's on 2 feet, because he was not on his 2 feet just before. He was trying to catch a high one, and he landed on his bum. So,
The tumble out back.
which was
The catch was
Yeah.
safely taken. I can assure
That's
every single person here. Hopefully.
hopefully. But yeah, we'll kick it off with a very quick T20s. Australia was Scotland, not South Africa. Scotland. Obviously, convincing win. But first thing, it looks like the coverage. I was watching the highlights. I was like,
Yeah, it was like a village
I felt
game.
very low. I was like, wait, I can see it.
It
was-
reminded of the 1983 World Cup, except that these players were putting on colored jerseys. Had they put on white jerseys, yeah, a remake of '83 World Cup.
Oh my God. It looked like it was pretty much backyard, not obviously literally backyard, but backyard cricket, right? Like it was this rope, little bit of gap, a banner, like a cardboard banner, and then people,
The craziest part,
and little
the craziest
tents.
part is whenever they hit the ball high up, which they did a lot in this whole series,
Yes,
the
a lot.
cameras would just like zoom out and be like, you figure it out where it is. If you can see it, you can see it. You're not going to follow this ball. I'm sorry.
I-
Our cameras
yeah,
are one camera.
yeah, I did observe the number of cameras and the camera angles. You're so used to multiple, retakes of the same shot being displayed, and here,
Yeah.
even that bowling angle was quite narrow and a quite locked up angle, zoomed out quite a bit. Uh, Netherlands also, when there are games that gets broadcasted out of Netherlands, it's pretty much the same. I mean,
Yeah.
we all know that they haven't made it up or they haven't broken into international arena to have a lot of funds coming in. But yeah, that whole coverage seemed quite outdated.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? So if you look at the stadium, right, it's called Grand Cricket Club, not a stadium. It's a club.
Yeah.
Oh, they could have just done a makeshift, like done what the Americans did, was just a makeshift, like a high rise, and then get cameras from there to have a look. But yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
It was different, which is quite good. But
How
yeah,
crazy has the series been though, in terms of just viewing?
Yeah.
Like I reckon they could have just gone with a bowling machine, and Aussies would have just gone, yep, six here, six here. It was like one of those the EA Sport Cricket 2002 games where you
With
can do
cheat mode
whatever.
on.
It'll just be six. Yeah, yeah. The easy put on an easy setting.
L1
Yeah.
and circle, you just go, yep, flick here, flick
Flick
there.
that first game. Like I actually reckon if Australia batted first, we would have seen a first 300 plus total.
Yeah. With this, when I looked at the squad, before the T20 World Cup, where we just finished IPL, we were all concerned that McGurk and Travis Head were gonna open for Australia in the T20 World Cup, and we all know how powerful both of them are. I think this was the first instance of both of them pairing up. Hasn't had that similar firework effect. Either one of them have played or both of them have failed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so looking forward to an explosive start from both ends.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Mitchell Marsh
But
was
Head in
going.
the first T20.
Wait, Head and Mitchell Marsh both were going at 300 plus. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. Oh,
This is
You just watch the highlights when they're both in. It's just like here,
six,
here,
six.
just here. I'm just like,
Four, six.
yeah.
I mean, in our highlights, right? In a 5-minute highlights, you would pack in or if it's a 10-minute highlight, 5 minutes per innings, you'll pack in about 40 odd balls or 30 odd balls. And essentially, those were the 30 odd scoring shots for Australia in that highlights.
To be honest, I don't even think they covered all of the boundaries, because some boundaries had to be covered by Scotland. So they gave a few boundaries from Scotland first, and then they're like, "Yep, we're done now. Here are some boundaries hit by Australia." Series of boundaries, I think. But
No.
I feel like Riley mirrored this. If you, did you guys watch him in Big Bash? Um, he's meant to be like one of the lightning quicks from Big Bash,
Mm.
but I feel like he wasn't as effective as I thought he would be against like a minor team. Like he's still getting smashed. Like his economy was not great in any of the games. They're still going at like eight to nine runs and over,
Mm.
um,
Eight. Yeah.
and not getting that many wickets either.
Yeah, I think I mean
Yeah,
the conditions of the pitch were clearly not in favor of the batsman, as we can clearly see with the scores.
the other way, the
You
other
know,
way, in favor of the bowlers.
it was never in favor of the bowlers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, if yeah, so 150 or 150 was was a minimum pretty much in all the games or close to that 150 totals.
Yeah.
So it was a fairly healthy wicket. Yeah, but with I think even the ground sizes ground wasn't that big either.
Oh, it's tiny.
If you look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it was as you could see it was a
Mm.
cricket club and cricket club usually don't have a 80 or a 90-meter boundary.
I'm
So
actually surprised it qualified for an international match. Um,
you
and
know,
I think Travis Head and Mitchell Marsh made sure that they knew it wasn't an international level ground. They
well,
they made it look like a village ground, a
Yeah,
village team.
and they showed it. They showed
Yeah.
it. Smashing it all over.
Ah,
Showed it. Yeah,
I think this is yeah. I mean, this is
and
the
it was interesting.
sorry. Go ahead, Randy.
Like Australia only lost maximum of 4 wickets in all the games.
Uh,
That's it.
I mean,
and in every game they had one person scoring big.
with
Yeah,
these nations where they don't have a lot of funds, and these tours are big on to boost their cricket in the nation. So I think ICC is just gonna cut the strict guidelines for an international stadium and then say, all right, give us what is the best stadium that you've got. You know, we don't
Yeah,
care if it's a stadium or if it's a
yeah.
cricket club, but give us whatever the best that you could host and whatever decent coverage. Um,
yeah.
have you guys seen if there was DRS in this tournament?
I'm not sure actually. I
Yeah,
the
because
highlights didn't
I'm not
have
sure.
any DRS reviews.
yeah,
Yeah,
my with DRS, you got to have a bigger infrastructure put out and much more
Yeah,
technology in. And that was what when I was reading through and I was looking at the highlights as well. One of the things that I wanted to check in was even DRS possible in this sort of coverage?
yeah, probably not. I mean, they barely had cameras to support the telecast, so there's no way they're going to have high speed cameras to get the Hawkeye in and Snicko in.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I did, this new stats guy did a quick check,
Oh.
and little interesting. Again, I'm not. Again,
If you say
someone can
titbit,
fact
if you
check,
say
but
titbit, I'm going to kill you.
cool. This game didn't have third umpire and DRS.
Oh
It did.
wow,
Apparently,
yeah.
It did. Oh,
it
it didn't.
didn't.
Oh,
It
not even a
didn't.
third umpire.
Did not.
Oh
No third
wow.
umpire.
Yeah,
No way.
that's what I'm.
Surely they have a third
Again,
umpire.
quick.
Surely.
Just
What?
All right, I guess this is where we're gonna depend
I'm
on
just,
open source. We're gonna ask our listeners to comment and tell us if this game or the series between Australia and Scotland had third umpire and had DRS.
Yeah. Tell us. Surely they would at least have a third ump.
yeah, because based on what I'm reading,
Now it's definitely a village
all you
village
need
game.
to.
Right.
Oh yeah. So
Uh,
imagine that pure like all decisions are just like it's like as Chai
Manual.
said, right? All you really needed was black and white t-shirts, not color t-shirts, and you're back at
Yeah.
83. Yeah,
That's crazy.
oh.
that
All
is
right.
interesting.
But big scores by, I mean,
Sorry, go.
there was at least one Aussie player that scored really big in each of the games. You had Travis
Yeah,
Head with
yeah.
his Lightning 80. You had
To be honest,
jo
after seeing him score his 80, I actually felt that Josh Inglis's 100 was slow.
Yeah.
he
Like,
scored a 200 strike rate.
yeah,
But
like
yeah,
come on, man.
we are at that times where even 200 strike rate is pretty slow in
It's
Test
slow.
cricket in
Yeah,
T20 cricket.
T20.
Uh,
Yeah.
and third game was
He didn't
Cameron
play.
Green.
Oh no, he didn't come in for the third one. Yeah.
Cameron Green. So you had three different top scorers for Aussies in each of the games.
yeah,
I'm sure the Aussie teams were
Mm.
thinking, why didn't this squad fire up 2 months ago in the T20 World Cup?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's all good.
So
I'm
moving to
sure. I'm sure
another.
they've got
Moving
enough
to a.
trophies in that cabinet to
Yeah.
not feel that way though. Yeah, go on, Randeep.
Now moving to our next one. We're going to a series where two of the people who know very well what's going on. One person's like,
What's the name? What's the name of the series?
Duleep,
Dula.
Dule.
Uh,
It's
So they're finally kicked off. So Duleep Trophy is finally kicked off in India, and there's a match going on at the moment, which is India A versus India B in Bengaluru,
yeah. Um,
which is they actually not too bad. Well, India is struggling.
yeah,
yeah,
170 for seven,
yeah.
day four.
it's the final day
India,
of the
India
game.
B, India B started bats with the bat in the game, and they had a
Yeah,
horrendous start. Everyone started getting out except for that one boy, one very, very young boy,
Mushi,
Mushid Khan, and he stuck around. And if you watched him
Mushi Khan.
play, like, so
He's
he's
19.
19
Yeah,
exactly. He's Sarfaraz Khan's brother.
19.
Yeah, he lit up the under 19 World Cup also. He scored a decent amount of runs there. Um, but when I
Yeah.
watched him bat in this series, like when he first came out, I was like, oh my
Mm,
god, this guy's not solid. Like he's gonna get out at any time because he was like coming out of the crease, not staying still, and everyone else was like finding it hard to stay. Right, like you look at Bun, Sarfaraz, like they all
yeah,
got out quite cheaply.
yeah,
A lot of ducks happened. Like it was a tricky pitch overall to even like survive on. And this guy's like walking around doing everything. I was like,
mm,
oh, matter of time, this guy's gonna get out soon. I go out, come back, and man's on 70. You're like, oh, surely no more. We're done. We're done. We're done. Like he's already batting with a tail. Navneet Saini. He's got like
yeah,
150 before this. No
yeah.
way he's gonna stand at the crease. Come back 20 minutes later, 100. 20 minutes. 70 to 100 was so quick.
It was
Man,
a pretty interesting way he was battling or countering the whatever was happening on the pitch. Pretty unorthodox. Yeah, he's India Steven Smith, I must say.
yeah. Oh,
The
yeah,
way
yeah,
he
yeah.
was jumping and running all around.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was when in tests you expect those solid defense, so that picture perfect cover drives and stuff, and this guy dancing up and down the track, and all he was doing was defending.
yeah. But the funnier part for me was so now we're on day one. He does this. I think they finished on 103 or something. I mean,
mm,
Mushi finished on 103. Next day he bats really well, gets to 150, then gets to 181, and he gets out. Right. So now I'm like, oh my god, this is it. We've found it. This guy can stay on the pitch. He can live on it forever. Select him for the India Bangladesh series. Drop everyone else. We're done. We're done. Second inning starts for him. It's a duck.
Go for it,
It's a
yeah.
duck. Come on, brother. I want me to bat for you.
Such a
Oh
contrast
my
of an
god.
innings where you
Yeah,
single-handedly get the team push the team score across over 300, gets them into a very very
300,
competitive
yeah,
position, and then second innings plays about 5 balls, struggles, and six
yeah,
ball, boom, gone.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, this India A team, like, you've got very, well, again, from my side, known players. You've got Mayank Agrawal, Gill, Prag.
Rahul,
it's a
You got
stacked team.
Joel
yeah,
Dubé.
Yeah,
Like that's a
it's a
proper team.
stacked
As
team.
in, right, like proper upcoming
Yeah,
team, right? Yeah. And They struggled in the first innings. They got all out for 231. They again, someone scored some scores. Like
Yeah.
most of them scored some scores,
Yeah,
but
but wait,
yeah, they
30s don't
looked
count
like
as
they
good
struggled.
scores in test matches. 30s are
Yeah.
nothing. Like they've all,
No,
if
no,
anything,
I'm not saying
that's
good
been
scores.
wasted.
I'm saying starts. I'm saying
Yeah,
starts.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So like
Yeah.
whenever you get to 30, you should carry on because that's just a start. You're wasting. You're in now, and all of them wasted the
Mm.
shots. Every single top order batter, they gave their wicket away. But sorry,
Yeah.
before we come here,
Look at Rahul.
before we come,
Rahul.
yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Before we talk about
No, I was just looking
the
at Rahul and sorry. I was just looking at his. His is 37 on 111
Oh yeah.
yeah,
balls.
yeah. The man was on the pitch.
If we have Pujara takes the balls, but he also scores
I don't
runs.
know. I think that's a very
It's
Pujara-like
not
innings,
just
Bolt. Striker to
Yeah.
33. I think he's literally auditioning for
33.
Pujara's position.
Rahul, look at his second inning score. He's upped
Oh,
Yeah,
his
same.
strike rate
50,
57 of 121. So he's
yeah,
definitely had
47.
or
Oof. I'm loving it. He's definitely auditioning for Pujara's position.
yeah. But let's probably go
no.
through some of those key players in each of the squads and then have a bit of
Yeah.
a chat, rant, whatever you want to do. Jaiswal,
Yeah. So,
he had
yeah,
he had a start in both the innings.
yeah,
Or sorry, you can't call nine a start. But what do you
yeah.
guys reckon? Hit or a flop?
Uh, nah, it was a middling innings, I reckon. Like he looked so good in that first innings,
Yeah.
and if you saw him get out, he literally one guy was at point, and he cut it right into his hands. And I think the way he got out, it looked like he wanted to hit it over him,
Oh
and
yeah.
then he was like, "Oh shit, this is a test match. I need to keep it
Mm.
down." And then he tried keeping it down, and then he was like, I didn't do
And then he
either.
got
I
out.
didn't do either. It's just straight into his hands. And then the
Cool.
funniest thing was the
Yeah.
next ball, Sarfaraz Khan comes in right after he gets out. He gets the same ball. He's a
Yeah.
right-hander, so it would be outside his off stump, and he just cuts it above. You know, it's a test match,
Good.
but you still get boundaries. It's all good.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Mushir Khan.
They should have cut it. They should have cut the camera to Jaswal, and he's like, okay, that's how you do it. He's like taking notes.
Mushir Khan. We spoke about him. You know. You
Yeah.
know. Had a pretty good first innings, but could not back it up by a decent second innings. Sarfraz Khan had
Yeah, I think he looked all good for his little 35 ball 9 runs, but just gave it away, I think. And
yeah.
I think I actually reckon he'll be a very good candidate for LBWs in the future too. He walks off and he just like freezes in the middle and he's like, just swing the bat. Whatever happens, will
it,
happen.
Raj, the way you started, I was like, he's when he's talking about
Yeah.
future, I was thinking of a good future prospect for Team India. I was like, in future, he's a very good candidate for LBWs.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, guaranteed.
That again, if you were the social media manager, yeah, that's a very odd marketing you'd give to Sarfraz Khan. This is
It's
uh,
for my fellow bowlers, all right?
Rishabh Pant,
Wait.
yeah.
But quick word about his second innings and Sir Francis,
oh
because
yes,
he scored a
he
very
had a
quick
he had a good
46.
40. Yeah, Think,
And he's like, let me audition for the
You didn't get an
IPL because
LBW,
it's coming up.
not LBW this time, Raj.
Caught behind, caught behind.
but he seems to be in a
Not bad.
rush, and I think this is probably going to be the biggest challenge on including any of these players in your T20 in your test squad. The contrast of first innings, second innings, he was scoring over 100 strike rate. I'm sure they wanted to go for a kill, declare the innings as soon as possible, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those mixed take, right? You don't want players to go berserk in tests, especially when you're auditioning for probably the next year's worth of Indian cricket.
But the other crazy part
But
is,
isn't
go on.
isn't that his style? Isn't that Sarfraz like
No,
his?
No,
I think he'll be quick,
I've
but not like over 100 strike rate
yeah,
quick. Because he's meant to be your out and out test
okay,
player.
because
yeah.
yeah,
See, we want these players
yeah, because his strike rate at the moment is 79,
overall.
an average of 50. Again, he hasn't played
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
at his stats.
See,
At the moment, it's 79 strike rate and an average of 50.
with
Yeah.
Australian Tour in mind, which is probably the biggest test, and then WTC
Mm,
finals, which is again an overseas,
yeah,
you're looking at you want players to stick at the wicket for a while, rotate the ball, rotate the strikes, score runs.
correct.
We don't want these quick 60s, 50s, right? We want slow, lazy, big 150s, 200s. Similar to what, perfect example is,
Yeah,
I think we're going to go back to this reference, Mushir Khan and the way he batted in the first inning. He was striking at 50%, right? His strike rate was close to that 50%. But that's exactly the sort of innings you need. You want someone to basically lay a tent, camping bag, just sleep there. Just,
correct.
just
Yeah,
take on to that. Stick to that one end.
Look, we haven't gotten down the order as much, but I think Navneet Saini is where all the credit's due for Mushir Khan's innings. Because his innings would be nothing if Saini had gotten
if
out. Like, that man stayed on the pitch for so long, just as long as Mushir Khan.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
everyone got out. But if you look at the amount of balls he faced, and he took
yeah.
a lot of bounces, and he ducked.
Uh, so let's probably talk about him, right? He did he was picked up for Team India quite some time ago, but never made it to the main, or was never part of that preferred list. But I think the Duleep Trophy is probably a rebirth, if I may say that, especially with that innings, where again you need in thinking of Australian Tour and the WTC finals, you need someone to extend the tail. You've got to have a longer tail as well. So I think his audition in the first innings, and he had a decent run with the ball in both the innings as well. So I think yeah, he's got like 3 or 4 wickets in the game so far. Yeah, so he seems to be a good
3 wickets. Yeah.
promising.
Is he quick?
Uh, Not that
You
much,
mean?
but he's quite tall.
Is is he in like the mid 30s or early
I'll be
140s?
early. No, no, pace. He'll be in the
Mm,
late 130s to early 140s. He's
yeah,
fairly quick.
Yeah, okay,
He's
okay.
fairly quick.
Yeah, he's pretty quick.
And he got
Okay,
he got a
yeah,
decent amount of wickets too.
yeah. He got
yeah.
three in the first innings, one in the second inning. So he's a pretty. I mean, his audition is going pretty well so far.
Yeah. I reckon he's in. He's in. Surely he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Rishabh Pant.
Yeah. Disappointing first innings. Really good second innings.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
and him and Surfraz really made it look like they were batting with intent to retire, to declare,
declare. Yeah.
so that they could close the game.
Yeah.
And if all goes well, they're looking like they're on track to finish it today.
Today's the
Um,
last day as well. So
yeah, it's the
if
last day. It's the last day. They got
Mm.
29 overs to finish it. 2 wickets to
yeah,
go.
2 wickets to go.
Another one just fell.
Cool. Nitesh Kumar Reddy, I did back this person when we spoke about he was the up and coming SRH player from IPL. It sort of shows that IPL is completely different compared to your good old red ball cricket. Hasn't had
But he's
a
he's he's
great,
he's a pace bowling all rounder, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty young.
But bowling wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Bowling wasn't too bad. Like again, no wickets, but economy
Yeah.
1.7. He did on the first
Well,
He didn't bowl that much anyway, right?
ish.
no,
Yeah.
11 overs is
he
not bad.
bowled 11 overs,
On the not much, not much,
but overall not a
not much.
great game from a numbers
Yeah.
perspective.
But I, I,
Um,
I I reckon he'll be given way a few more chances though. They're all
uh,
auditioning for that Shardul tackle position.
well, I doubt if he would be picked if it were to me, I'd probably even toss up to Navdeep Saini in case I need to pick compared to
Shardul?
uh, no, not Shadul,
Oh
compared
no.
to
Oh,
Nitish.
okay. Oh yeah, yeah, of course, of course, of
Yeah.
course. I'm
Oh yeah,
saying
yeah,
because
yeah,
Nitish
yeah,
is only 21, so this isn't even his peak.
He's
He got
he's
time. He's
got
got
time.
time.
He's got time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, moving down the list, Washington Sundar, not great game.
Average. Not
Uh,
not a great game.
I would say even below average because he hasn't made anything with the runs or with the bat or the ball
Or the ball,
in
yeah.
both the games.
Just the one wicket, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, I think 1 and 1 if I'm not wrong, but pretty
Yeah,
average when you're counting him as your potential Jadeja's replacement.
yeah.
Right. Sai Kishore again, not a great. So we'll probably.
The weird for me for Sai Kishore was why wasn't he bowled in the first game? He only bowled like 6 overs, and in
Is
the
he?
6 overs he got 2 wickets.
Oh wow. Hmm.
So I don't understand why he wasn't bowled more.
Probably a question to their captain, Abhimanyu Ishwaran.
Yeah, come on, Eastbourne Bolt, because he
Uh,
was so good in the IPL,
yeah. Cool.
and the
We
man's
spoke
got
about.
great hair too. Have you seen it? It's like a mini afro. It's really cool.
Yeah. If is it just me or does he and Rachin sort of share a similar look, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah,
Rachin
very
Ravindra.
similar. But this,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so funny.
Yesh Dayal, pretty decent,
Decent,
pretty
decent
average.
bowling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average with the bat, like always a tail ender,
Mm.
decent with the
No,
bat,
but he bowled decent, Achai.
Hmm.
Second innings, 3 wickets.
Yeah.
And it's surprising because he was getting
Yeah,
wickets
3 wickets.
on the latter side when all the spinners would come in.
Well, a potential thing to count him in or consider in case, we want to take the game to day 5, if we want to take the game
I
to game
reckon,
5.
I reckon in terms of bowlers, no one's auditioned better than Navdeep Saini.
Yeah,
Given he's already got experience, they'll definitely pull him in. I reckon
Mm.
he's in. He's in for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And finally, Mukesh Kumar.
Oh yeah, decent, but a bit expensive, I think.
Yeah. Um, yeah, 3 and 2 wickets. All right, moving
Yeah.
on to we just spoke about India B. Let's go into India A. Mayank Agarwal. Uh,
Absolute shit. Like I have so many. I've got so much hope from that man, and every time I advocate for that guy to come back into the 11,
Yeah.
he comes back
see,
and doesn't score the runs, and I'm just like, come
but
on, bro.
there was time.
And he's
Yeah, there was
33.
time when he was that
Yeah.
potential India opener, right? He was pairing up with
He was
Sehwag.
actually a first choice. He was first choice opener at one point.
Yeah, and then he
Mm.
went. Things went pear-shaped for him, and now
Yeah,
clearly
I still remember
his
when
yeah
it was the Australia series, and he couldn't get off the mark against Mitchell Stark.
yeah
A single digit score the whole series, and
yeah.
after that, gone.
All right. Next is Mr. Captain
Yeah.
Shubman Gill. Pretty average,
Terrible,
I must
shocking.
say, and this is where you had Jaiswal and Shubman both potential Indian team openers, and both of them not having great games. Moving down the list, Parag.
It's more criminal for Gill actually because Gill got starts on both innings and he wasted them both.
True, true.
So
Mm.
come on, man.
Uh, Moving down, Rian Parag got a start in both the games, just couldn't capitalize.
But he
30.
smashed it in the second innings.
Huh?
Yeah.
172 strike rate.
172 strike rate.
I was like, what? What?
Why? Right? More than what?
To be clear. No, no,
But
but they
this
wanted to
they were
declare.
chasing. No, they were chasing. So
Oh, they
this
were
is the
chasing. Oh shit.
yeah,
So the
and
guy
that's
hadn't given
that's
away.
that's a
Yeah.
rationale as to why you yeah, you want to see a game, but you've just come, after fall of a wicket, right? Mayank
Yeah.
fell pretty early,
Yeah, pretty
7,
early. Yeah.
1 for 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my only pick on him. He got a start again. I should say he threw away his start in both the
Mm.
innings.
Yeah.
KL Rahul got a start in the first one, 30 odd, and then second one, I'm gonna say he stuck to the squeeze. Essentially the sort of innings that we are expecting. We
Yeah.
spoke about Pujara's replacement. So I think
Yeah.
his audition is going pretty good as of now. Uh,
But I still think
Jure,
he should have taken them home.
yeah.
Should have, would have,
Oh.
could have, Rahul. Should have, would have, could have.
But again, this is
Also,
the first game, right? For both the teams. These are
no,
first
no, but some of
games,
them are not going to be able
right?
to play
So
the second game because they will be out for
In the
Bangladesh series.
Bangladesh too.
oh, they've got
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bangladesh
some of
game.
them only had the
Yeah.
one game.
Oh,
Yeah.
like Gil.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we don't know. We don't know if he's picked.
Yeah,
Yeah. The squad's not announced for Bangladesh, so
yeah.
it's going to be
And
interesting.
yeah, that's right. They haven't done squads yet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dhruv Jurel, terrible audition as a
Oh
wicket
God.
keeper.
Yeah.
He's your
Like
second.
but he hasn't scored runs in red ball since that really good series he had against, was it England?
England, yeah.
England, yeah, in
Pretty
India,
good
yeah.
series.
He,
How long ago was
I
that?
know.
sometime early this year.
It's that long ago that we don't know.
Like some time ago.
But yeah,
Yeah. See that's a concern, right? That's a concern. That's a while ago. So he's
Yeah.
cool. Mr.
So in terms of keepers on red ball, you've got
Punt.
obviously
That's
Punt
it.
and then Samson?
Nah.
Not for red ball. He wasn't even picked in the Duleep Trophy Bowl.
So no one?
Nah, so Jurel's gonna be your backup keeper for now. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
and this is the
Okay,
biggest
for red
concern.
ball. Okay.
Your
Okay.
two potential openers and two potential keepers were all playing in this one. I was expecting a lot more fireworks and interesting game on this, but yeah,
Yeah.
Jurel's had a terrible show.
Oh, 9 down.
Shivam, oh gosh,
9 down,
Shivam
9
Dubey,
down.
Shivam Dubey again.
Average.
Yeah, throwing away a start. He's supposed to
Yeah.
be an all-rounder as well, so
Didn't even bowl in the previous innings.
he didn't bowl at all in the whole game. So
No,
he'll be a baggage to.
First innings he bowled
He
in the
did?
first innings. He bowled 12 overs. No wickets though.
No
4
wickets.
maidens, no wickets.
Yeah,
But in the second innings he didn't bowl.
you would expect a lot more from him if we want to carry him into the squad.
I don't think he would have to do a lot more.
But he hasn't played any tests.
No, so he'd debut, but I
Yeah.
think if he did a lot better here, he would actually make a decent case. Because again, India's been looking for a pace bowling all-rounder who can extend their tail and give the quicks a break. We don't have
Yeah.
anyone. Because Pandya was one, but then he's gapped, if I
Mm.
recall.
Yeah,
Now,
Pandya
Yeah.
fitness.
That's if he sticks to the pitch. So if in this series, in this series there's some decent runs, or even if it's not runs, he sticks to the sticks on the pitch,
yeah.
right? And can get through those challenges, then yes.
'Cause,
But
look,
yeah,
he's a terrible fielder.
14 out of 27 is
He's a terrible fielder. So,
I think we've made that case pretty clear multiple times.
yeah. So I think he will really have to bat extremely
Yeah.
well and bowl decently to make a spot. Because right now the closest thing we have to that is Shardul Thakur, and then outside of that, Navdeep Saini.
Yeah.
Cool. Moving down the list, Tanush Kotian had a good
I think he
or
did decent in the first innings, right?
Yeah, but not so great with the ball, isn't he? Yeah, he just bowled 3 overs. And this is the other thing, right? And these players are coming down the order, you would expect them to be a full-time bowlers at least. They could not contribute much with a bat, and yet they managed to bowl only 3 or 4 overs. I know we're bowling 50, 60 overs in each of the games. Oh, second innings was essentially 40 overs. But still, they got to be effective with whatever little time to audition that they get. Kuldeep Yadav, how did he go with the ball?
Not great.
Not great. Yeah.
Like you'd expect, one of the innings he got 0 wickets.
Yeah, he got
the first
1
innings,
wicket, 1 and 0, so not.
And he got hammered.
He got
I'm
hammered.
pretty sure Mushir Khan
Not
smashed
true,
him.
not
No,
true.
legit. He was sweeping him. Reverse, conventional.
He got
Even
hammered.
someone else did too, right? No, Patia's in a different list.
Right. So in the interest of time, Akash Deep, Avish Khan, and Khalil Ahmed, let's probably review them together.
Just do their bowling. Forget their batting. Their batting
Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
Akash Deep.
Akash,
Yeah, out of nowhere,
yeah.
he comes in. Khalil Ahmed, who we thought had a pretty okay. He was our traveling reserve for T20. we did bash quite a bit of him in the T20 in Zimbabwe, but he turned up to the
But
party.
Akash, yeah, but we go back to Akash Deep, 9 wickets the
Nine.
whole game.
Yeah,
That's job well done.
9 wickets.
and
Wait, this is not Akash Deep. This is
Yeah.
not no, not to be confused with Arshdeep, right? This is Akash Deep. This is
this is
someone else.
Akashdeep. Arshdeep is in
Yeah, yeah.
others
Okay.
team,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
and
Actually,
this
yeah.
this man Akashdeep is pretty handy with the bat as well. He is digging it in the second innings now.
Mm.
He's scoring. He scored 35, 36. For a
Oh
bowler, that's
wow.
pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. All right. I think let's move on to our the other game, which completed India C
Yeah. Nice
versus
and
D.
quick.
Yeah.
Those guys are just like, we're not here for a long time,
Very
guys.
quick.
Just wrap it up in 3 days, make it a realistic test match. Because that's how all of the games happen.
Let's set the expectations of how Test
But
cricket's played in India, right? 2, 3 days, the
Yeah.
game has to be done.
Yeah. Don't mess around. Don't mess around, please. Sir, sorry.
I love it. It's like first innings, hundreds, second innings, 200s. That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like very similar scores too.
And this was, yeah, and again, two different locations because the game that's happening now, obviously, main stadium, Chinna Swami Stadium, and this is Rural Development Trust Stadium yeah.
yeah,
And then rest of the games are all in that
in the same series,
suburb.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
All right.
I feel like these two teams are very low key players. Like, um, if you watch IPL, you'd know
Mm,
some of them. Otherwise, you're not going to know a lot of these players.
And
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
uh, uh, I think with India C and India
Uh,
D, again, I didn't know how these players were, or how these teams were made up. You see all the big
yeah.
names in India, and to me, it felt as if, we're dividing this whole squads into four. All the top is going to be in A. If we can't fill, then we go into B. But Akshar Patel is in C. Again, that points to me that this is not a true, genuine classification based on credit. Must be some sort of round robin
No.
mechanism.
Yeah. Like these are meant to be the top 60 players in
Yeah.
the country right now. Um,
Yeah, yeah. This is a team that BCCI is going to be closely keeping an eye. And yeah, these are the players that you would probably see grow up and start playing in the nation within the next
Mm.
2 to 3 years.
Like your
Correct.
next gen B and
Yeah.
C generation. Like yeah. That'll
All
come
right.
up. Yeah.
Now, like Raj has currently pointed out, we would not probably be knowing all. So let's probably pick the key players and run through, right?
yeah.
Shreyas Iyer is probably the biggest name in this whole list,
Yeah.
and he did
I
not
I
have
honestly don't know what he was up to. No, he
Average.
did decent in the second innings,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
he was cavalier. If you watched him bat, he was literally just like, look, I'm just gonna hit. Like if the ball's on my side, I'm gonna smash it. If the ball's not on my side, it's your pick to mine. Like I'm either gonna get out or get the runs.
And
He honestly looked
Yeah.
like he was there for a good time.
that was the concerning thing with me when I looked at his contrasting innings between first and second. Again,
Yeah.
looking at auditioning for the next few series, key series from WTC perspective, you can't have, this goes even back to Mushir Khan as well, where he had a very good innings and a terrible bat. And in a five-test series, you can't give away, you can't be 50-50, right? You got to be at least, you got to have a good scores
Yeah.
with a bat in at least 6 to 7 games for India to have a chance.
Yeah, just stay on the pitch a bit longer. Like,
That's it.
even if you score a lot of runs really quickly, it's still not doing justice to the team because you want to get the ball to be a bit older when you
Yeah.
leave. Like, that's the whole point. Like, tire the batters out because sometimes it's not even important to like get massive scores. If you just no,
Get
not
runs.
not, not even get runs
Yeah.
because the
Just
series that we're going to play against Australia, right? It's a 5 match series, so
Yeah.
you're literally batting as much as possible. You can even bat for a draw in the first game, but if you tire the bowlers out,
Yeah.
that bowler on game 3 is not going to be the same as what he is in game 1, and then he can start like strategically just start winning in game number 3.
yeah, I think with
And that was our advantage in the right? That was India's advantage when they came down
Hey,
Yeah.
under, right? With the first
and
win
and
and
why
the
was
second
that?
win.
Why was that?
And if you watch the
Because
prime,
Pujara was at the wicket playing. Pujara was starring the players.
yeah,
Oh, bring Pujara back.
And
Bring Pujara
and
back.
and
correct. So if
well, to be honest,
I've been
here
advocating that
Rahul
for like
can
forever.
do that, right?
Again, consistency, Raj, I guess. KL didn't have,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have
Yeah,
that consistent. Yep, he'd scored
If
30 odd in
if
the first, 50 odd in the second.
no, but no, forget the runs. Okay, so with Pudgy, what's our goal right now?
yeah,
Uh,
He cannot
stay at
score
the
a run.
pitch.
All good. You just stay on the pitch. And both innings, that's what he showed us.
Oh, yeah.
Innings one,
That's true. That's true.
33, but strike rate of 33. 33 of 111 balls. That's a very
mm.
Pujara-like innings. The question is, can
That's
he do the
true.
same in an
But
international match?
How's Rahul in Australian pitches? How's Rahul? I'm trying to remember. How is he on Australian pitches?
Rahul's probably the most well-rounded player in terms of overseas and local
Yeah.
in the newbie
Yeah,
people.
And the other
yeah,
advantage of having Rahul in the squad is people often we've all now forgotten him as an opener as well. He used to open the inning. So he's your fallback in
yeah.
case, Gill or Yashasvi are having a terrible run as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right,
Mm,
let's go through the squad. So we spoke about Shreyas.
To be
yeah.
honest, sorry, one quick point about
Yes,
Rahul
yes.
before you move on. So Rahul is like a jester or a joker. He's like, sab karega. Jo bolega, wo karega. I'm surprised he hasn't started. He hasn't become a medium-paced all-rounder already.
Right. So just for listeners' context, Rahul here is KL Rahul. We
Yeah,
already know
yeah,
Rahul Dravid, who's done the similar approach.
yeah,
Yes, that's right.
Right. Particle.
Yeah,
Oh.
Raj, they haven't had a bad light at
yeah.
the moment for him
Stop
to.
spinning the ball.
Cool. Sorry, bringing back to India C squad. Is it? Sorry, India D squad. Particle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah. Terrible
average.
outing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Again,
he scored a half century in the second
in
innings, but
second,
still not good enough.
first innings.
Yeah.
This is the contrast that we keep
Yeah.
talking about. Shikhar Bharat, he was our first choice keeper in when Pant was not there, and then
Yeah.
Jurel was your second choice. He didn't have a great outing in the England
Mm,
series, and I think the story continues even here as well. He
So I feel
essentially,
like Srikar Bharat reminded me of Saha, where like they're both really, really good glovemen, but the batting's just not there.
yeah,
mm.
100%.
It's like, come on.
Cool. Now we are into the all-rounders. Aksar, I guess.
I think he had a decent game.
It was because of him
He had a decent game.
which India D put up a decent total, I must say, or else they're all set for
Yeah.
under 100
Yeah.
innings in under 100 for the first innings. How did
Yeah.
he go with ball? I didn't see that. Oh,
He got a
okay.
couple wickets in the first innings.
2 wickets, 3 wickets
I
in
think
total. Yeah,
the
three
part
wickets
where
in
they
total.
struggled was again, in the second innings for India C, no, India D, the ball was spinning like crazy. So everyone thought it's gonna be
Mm,
unplayable when Axar bowls, but he couldn't bring the goods. He couldn't get
Ouch.
them out. The ball wasn't even spinning when he was bowling.
yeah.
Oh,
And he only
wow.
got the one wicket. He only got the one wicket, and the other team won.
Well, Aussie wickets aren't spinning friendly, so he may
Oh,
be coming in
can you,
true for Aussie.
so did you see the standout performance in the bowling? That Manav guy, 7 wickets in one innings.
Ah,
So
wow.
when that guy's bowling, they're like, "Oh my God, Aksar's
Wow.
gonna eat these guys alive." When he bowls, and he couldn't. He wasn't even turning the ball.
See, I think India are in a dire need of a backfill for likes of Ashwin and Jadeja when they eventually wrap up.
Mm,
Kuldeep is coming in. I don't think he would be that effective as Jadeja or Ashwin. Chahal, I doubt it.
The problem isn't even no, but the problem isn't even them not being as effective. Let's assume they take wickets. But what Ashwin and Jadeja did
yeah.
was they were really good batters.
True.
which
Yeah.
Kuldeep nowhere near
No.
Ashwin's batting.
Yeah.
But Aksar is a bit there, right?
Yeah,
We've seen him in a
absolutely.
couple of games where Jadeja hasn't
But
played, right? Like he's
if
but
it's a
he sometimes pull through. Yeah.
go on.
sorry, if it's I mean batting is there, but on a pitch that is so
Yeah.
friendly to spin, if he struggles to
Yeah.
forget about taking wickets, if he can't even spin the ball, then that's a
Yeah.
big red flag on Indian
So
pitches.
the other issue is in India, Ashwin, Jaddu, and Akshar always play.
Yeah.
So Akshar isn't a replacement. He's already in the team.
I mean,
Correct.
he's.
He's yeah.
I
He's already
think
there.
it comes down to the effectiveness. That's where I've said, if Ashwin and
Yeah.
Jadeja, when they bowl as a pair, you know that they're gonna keep attacking from both the ends and creates the pressure.
So
Yeah.
good to
Uh,
watch.
Aksar's part of it. Aksar takes the load and falls into the mix.
Yeah.
But if it was Aksar as your primary bowler, right? If he's your frontline bowler,
Who's
can
your backup?
one
Who do you
can
connect him
he
with? Yeah. Who
can
do you connect
he
him with? Yeah.
still keep the same pressure up? Plus, who's that second bowler who's going to be working with him? Cool. Arshdeep,
Is there anyone? Can you guys think of
nah.
And the
anyone?
game's over.
Within the
Ferdinand
team?
all out, sir.
So, oh wow!
India
So
B wins.
India B wins the game. Cool. All right. I think let's quickly go through the rest of the squad.
Yeah.
Arshdeep Singh, pretty okay with the bat, pretty all right with the bowlers.
Okay bowling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too
Need
flash.
more, basically. I think Harshit Rana had probably a really good outing in terms of bowling.
Bowling's right. Yeah.
And he's decently pacey too. But to be honest, I actually thought he looked a bit unfit relative to what he was in IPL. He's a bit chubs in this game.
Cool.
But
All right.
still could bowl at quick pace.
All right. Let's move to India C. Probably gonna start. Oh yeah, we're gonna start off with their captain, Ruturaj Gaikwad.
Average.
Uh,
Need more. Sorry, need more.
I'm gonna say, yep, absolutely. From a bat, we need a lot more from him. But of the four
Yeah.
captains that we have seen so far, I think Gaikwad, from a captaincy perspective, was spot on. Yeah, I would say, his captaincy skills were there, and they were probably most obvious amongst the other three captains that we've had so far.
Oh yeah. In what way? What do you do?
Just the effectiveness with which he was rotating the bowlers. When you were on the kill. Yep, he let go a little
Strategy.
bit with
Yeah.
Aksar. He could not follow it up, but the way he was utilizing the bowlers, his field placements, and on a last playing the last innings, chasing 240 odd as well. He did come in handy with the bat. I think the calmness, and again, everyone is going to say this when I say the calmness, is he's inherited that or he's learned that trait from MSD. But if he can improve or it can reflect on his game and his skills, it's pretty good. He's got CSK for under him for the next season, I'm assuming. So yeah, it'll be a pretty important prospect for us.
I thought Sai Sudarshan was meant to be like the big boy in this game, and he will stand up tall. Had a very average outing, both innings.
Both innings, yeah, not just the other person moving down the list that the key players that we are tracking are aware. Rajat Patidar.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
He looked decent.
Yeah. Second innings was pretty good, especially when you were chasing 240 odd. So impressed with the second innings, but he should bring that to the first innings. Why create? Why leave it to the end?
And then bring it to the international games and stop getting up for ducks. he got up he had 3 back-to-back ducks. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. A pretty bad series with the England. RCB picked him up after that, so hey, changing turns, changing fate after that, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, apart from these players, do you guys see any other renowned players?
Actually, I've got one player. No one knows of him. He doesn't play in the IPL as often. Baba Indrajit. That man, I predict, is going to be the next Subramanian Badrinath of Indian cricket.
Oh, wow.
Some context: Subramanian Badrinath was the one player during the era of
Yeah.
Dravid and Sehwag. He averaged 60 in List A cricket and 60 in first class cricket. Only got 3 chances at the international level. This Baba Indrajit guy, he's been smashing runs in Ranji seasons back to back for the last 5 years. Hasn't had a look in yet, and it's meant to be another Badrinath scenario where
Oh,
doesn't have a spot.
He's 30.
it looks
Exactly,
He's at the moment
exactly.
30.
He's been scoring runs for the last 5 years.
he's averaging over 50 in first class cricket, which is
Yeah,
quite high. Again, 15 76 games.
Mm.
But again, having said that, 30 is the new 25, I must say. So you have Sky debuting in T20 at 31, 32,
yeah,
and you have
yeah,
players playing up until 40 odd. So he's still young.
yeah.
But
Bring
yeah,
him on, please.
I seriously hope he doesn't turn out to be another Subramaniam Badrinath.
Yeah,
Cool. So end of the two games, the table looks pretty interesting. Uh, uh, India C is at the top of the table.
ENC. Yeah.
India B,
yep,
India A, and India D. We got what? I think 4 more games remaining in this tournament.
yeah.
And
And there's no finals, so whoever gets the most points wins.
yeah, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Mm.
Cool.
And all the games are happening in around
Yeah,
that
they won't
play.
move around.
Anantapur.
It's
Yeah.
it's a local
They won't move around much.
tournament.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
I think like it's first game, but I'll be curious, like the next gen, and what risk they take for, or not risk as in upcoming players for Australia team, but I'll be curious. And some of the players I may get to know also. Half of them in that last one I had no idea, but
I
you know.
I I honestly feel like I think this series will play a massive like whatever like 50-50
Mm,
spots we have, they will be filled with the series. So I
yeah,
think a real good tournament to
yeah,
follow to find out where the team's going to head in the next generation. Because we need to think about it, right? I think this is most likely Rohit Sharma's and Kohli's last WTC cycle.
correct.
Um, so after the final,
Yeah.
they're definitely gonna be like, all right, hanging the boots, regardless of a win or a lose. Um,
And it's huge boots to fill.
Yeah,
That's
it's
huge
gonna
boots.
happen.
yeah.
So
And
Um,
and the pipeline, in I think if you look if we had looked at about a year ago, it was
yeah,
quite promising. But over the last year, with the entire focus primarily on the T20 World Cup, I think the rest two formats have
yeah,
taken a dip in talent. So yeah, it's going to be pretty
yeah,
nervous, interesting next year or so.
yeah, and I think the other crazy part is, given it's gonna be like their last series in Australia, this one last time, they need to make
mm,
sure they come good. Given last
oh,
3 outings,
yeah,
twice
Two,
we've beaten them now, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so
two in.
last 2 outings of ours is
yeah,
going to be has
twice,
been
yeah.
really good. So they better make sure
So
make
three
it a
in a
hat
row.
trick, make it a
Uh,
hat trick,
Uh,
and the
yeah,
team needs to come good.
we probably have to talk about that India Australia series, just the series
Oh,
itself,
guaranteed.
right? There's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much to
Like
talk
a
about.
pre-series preview.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
A 10-year
yeah,
dream of or most of the current Australian players have not seen a victory against India in
yeah,
India, in Australia. So that's a
mm,
long record for a country like Australia where they're good at smashing, they're good at winning, and a 10-year draft.
yeah. That'll be so good.
yeah. But that will come up soon. That will come up soon. We will discuss it coming closer. But thanks again, guys, for watching and tuning in. Our previous video is somewhere down here. Remember to like, share, and
Yeah.
subscribe. And any of the facts that we got wrong, and that Australia-Scotland fact, based on my cricket thing, I think it was right. Third umpire and no DRS. But it looked like club cricket, so it kind of probably made sense. But yeah, thanks for joining again, guys. And tune in for the next one. Thanks, guys.
See
Bye.
you guys.
Bye.